Let's take a question from the audience.
Hi, Chani. You are probably so over answering questions about cusps, but my question is, if we do not consider cusps, why do we consider shadow periods? What is the difference? And exactly what is a shadow period?
Great question. Cusps and shadow periods are fully, totally 1,000% different. And it's not that many astrologers love to talk about cusps. I don't use them because every single degree of the zodiac is ruled by a certain planet. It has specific associations with every single degree of the zodiac. It's stronger in some degrees of the zodiac than it is in others. It has a special affiliation with some parts of the numbers of the degrees of that sign than it does with other degrees of that sign. So everything is broken up in these small little bits in traditional astrology. But that doesn't mean that there aren't traditional astrologers that talked about planets acting like they were in the next sign over. I don't, again, work like that. I like to work with where the planet actually is because I think every single thing is really important. Cusps are an idea that a planet is going to act like it is in the next sign over or maybe in the previous sign. Again, I don't know. I don't really use it, so I'm not well versed in it. But I think that that's the general idea, is that like if you're born at the edge of Gemini, then you're more of a Cancer, or you might feel like you vacillate between the two. And I always say, if we're talking about sun signs, like the sun in Leo will quite often have Mercury in Cancer, or Venus in Cancer, or Mercury. If it's at the edge of Leo, then it'll often have Mercury in Virgo, or maybe even Venus in Virgo, because Mercury and Venus travel close to the sun. So it's very likely to have those two planets in the sign over one way or another. And so that can lead you to feel like you are that other sign, or you might have a whole group of planets in that other sign. So that's what that is to me. Shadow periods are when, say, Mercury goes retrograde, Mercury stations retrograde. Well, it's going to go backwards, right? When Mercury stations retrograde, it's going to go backwards a certain number of degrees. But it's already gone forwards over that degrees before it stations retrograde to go backward over it. So the shadow period is the degrees that it already went through, that it's going to back up through and then go forward in again. And so those degrees, that length, think of it as a stretch of road. You drive forward from point A to point B. Point B, you stop, put the car in reverse and go back to point A. Then you stop, put the car in drive and go back to point B. That section of road is the shadow period because you're going back over it, back and forth. Forward once, then backwards once, then forward again. So there's a period of time before the retrograde and after the retrograde where the planet is just going over the same stretch of road, let's say, that it did in the retrograde. And so that's the shadow period, which is very different than a planet moving just from one sign to the next. I hope that helps.